I still remember the night Marcus and I toasted with stale beer cans in that cramped Brooklyn loft, convinced we'd build the next big thing in health tech. I was fresh out of MIT with a head full of algorithms and a vision for PulseSync, an app that would let people monitor chronic conditions in real time, saving lives with data-driven insights. Marcus, my college roommate turned co-founder, promised to handle the back end while I charmed investors with slick pitch decks. For 18 months, we lived on takeout noodles and caffeine. I coded during the day, met with mentors at night, and dreamed of the moment when PulseSync would change the world. Marcus celebrated every milestone until Kestrel Ventures knocked on our door with a term sheet that felt too good to be true. I pored over pages of legal jargon, trusting Marcus had scrubbed it clean. 2 days later, I opened my inbox to a notice of equity adjustment. My name was gone from every cap table document. Marcus and Kestrel had quietly cut me out. My chest tightened as I realized he had signed my future away with a signature he'd never seen. The betrayal hit like a wrecking ball. My trusted friend, my business partner, had sold me out for a bigger slice of the pie. I spent the next week in a daze, replaying every conversation, every late night brainstorm, wondering how I missed the red flags. Then anger took over. I ghosted Marcus, took to Reddit forums, and rallied our earliest beta users to fund a community-owned alternative. I launched a crowdfund with raw, unfiltered videos of me breaking the news, tears and all. Within 6 months, our user community helped build PulseSync, a transparent platform that skyrocketed past PulseSync's downloads. Investors who valued integrity now backed me, and Marcus' version languished on the App Store's back pages. I learned that betrayal can fracture trust, but it can also forge a fiercer determination.
Growing up in suburban Ohio, Ryan and I were inseparable from grade school through prom night. We shared secrets in treehouses, applied to college together, and counted down the days until we'd moved to San Francisco to chase our dreams. When I scored a marketing director gig at a startup in Soma, Ryan promised he'd join me after finishing his master's program. Our video calls felt electric at first. We'd tour apartments online, plan a life on the bay, and sketch morning routines over FaceTime. But when I finally flew out, his texts dwindled into one-word replies and hours of silence. I blamed startup stress until I landed unannounced at our loft, only to find his bedroom empty, a rolling suitcase by the door, and a half-written note saying he needed space to figure things out. My heart fractured in that elevator lobby, every promise crumbling beneath my feet. I wandered city streets with tears blurring neon signs, desperate for answers he refused to give. His disappearance became fuel for my own renaissance. I booked a one-way ticket to Joshua Tree, set up my camera, and began vlogging the story of heartbreak and reinvention. Each sunrise in the desert became a chapter. Raw confessions, shaky footage, driving solos on Route 66. My subscriber count swelled as viewers resonated with my journey from despair to self-reliance. I launched a series called Solo Not Lonely, interviewing fellow travelers who turned abandonment into empowerment. Ryan's suitcase was the catalyst. I turned his betrayal into a testimony of self-discovery. Months later, I published a video montage, becoming my own North Star. It traded one-sided love for a community that cheered my milestones, hiking Half Dome, finishing a short film, and even launching my own lifestyle brand. Betrayal tore me down. But it also became the launchpad for the most authentic chapter of my life.
High school felt like a battlefield until I met Mr. Thompson, my history teacher with a knack for seeing potential where others saw average grades. He convinced me that my passion for storytelling could earn me a full ride to a top liberal arts college. Late nights in his classroom, we dissected narratives and honed my scholarship essay until every word glowed with promise. I confided in Maya, my best friend since kindergarten, sending her drafts for feedback. She celebrated each revision, until the night before submission, when my inbox lit up with an email from the scholarship committee accusing me of plagiarism. My heart froze as they attached a link. My private draft, leaked on a test prep site under a generic username, with zero attribution. Rumors spread through the hallways like wildfire. Friends steered clear. Whispers followed me to lunchroom tables, and my GPA felt irrelevant next to shattered trust. Mr. Thompson refused to back down. He meticulously traced IP logs, subpoenaed site records, and dragged school administrators into meetings until they reinstated my scholarship. But confronting Maya was the hardest part. I found her in the locker room, tears streaming down her face as she confessed she'd sold my essay for extra tutoring cash. The girl who once swore she'd protect my dreams had betrayed me for a quick buck. I stood there, fists clenched, wondering how to process anger, grief, and relief all at once. In my valedictorian speech, I spoke not of vengeance but of resilience. I announced a new peer mentorship group, where students could workshop essays without fear of leaks. That program thrives today, turning every fear of betrayal into a collective safeguard. I learned that betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from love, but healing begins when you transform pain into purpose.